Last week on Motivational Moments with LaRon Barnes.
Understand why people procrastinate. Well, one of the reasons that people procrastinate is because of the fear of failure. I don't know about you, but do we have anybody out there that has not taken a risk because they don't know what the outcome's going to be? You don't know if you're going to succeed or not. You're fearful. The first thing you have to do is be aware of that, recognize it, acknowledge it. I am scared. I am fearful. I do feel like this. That's the compassionate side of things. Acknowledging it and saying, you know what? Even though I do have fear, I do have anxiety, I do have worry, I'm still going to go and give it my best shot. Right? It's about making progress, not about perfectionism, but progress. Progress actually takes you to the state of mastery in anything that you do. Start small, gain some traction, do the easy things first, do the light things first, do the in your face things first, like we talked about last week. It's not about being perfect, it's about getting started.
Right.
We have to understand the magnitude and the power of self-talk. What you say to yourself matters. It really does. And we have to make sure that we're saying things to ourselves that only give us spiritual energy to elevate, that gives us the energy to feel accomplished. You know, one energy that I look forward to every day is a feeling of accomplishment. There is no greater feeling than a feeling of accomplishment. And I seek that. I ask myself the question, what makes me feel accomplished? What do I get to get done? I didn't say what do I have to get done, self-talk. What do I get? It's a privilege. It's an honor to get done. In order for me to feel accomplished, that's where my attention is focused. Because where attention goes, power flows.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday morning, and we are back for another Motivational Moments. Last week was a great show. You saw that in the recap. And so if you want to see the full video, you can always go to the YouTube channel at Elevating Men, or you could just go to our Facebook page as well. You can check out Elevating Men. Use the hashtag. You'll find all of our content. Brother Barnes, how you doing this morning, sir?
Man, I'm so lit right now. It's ridiculous. I am feeling amazing, Andrew, man. Amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Sean White. He said, morning champions, morning to you, champ, as well. Said, love Atlanta, GA. Absolutely. And we right here in Kansas City, the middle of the map. And so, listen, what we're talking about today is the power of self-reliance. We're going to get into this really quickly. We spend 30 minutes on Sunday morning getting your mindset right in the right place for the week, right here with our motivational speaker and life coach, Mr. LaRon Barnes. And so let's just hop right into it. He gave me 3 points that we're going to go over today. And so we're going to start with point number 1. The power of self-reliance helps you accept that you are in control. What did you mean by that? Talk to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, when we are on this journey to succeed, to accomplish great success, to reach our goals and our dreams, one of the things that stops us from moving forward is our doubts, fears, limiting beliefs, or negative self-talk. And in order for us to really accomplish the success we desire, one of the most powerful tools that I learned to take on is self-reliance, depending on self. Listen to this. You, my friend, are the captain of your soul. You are in control. I remember when I was working in insurance and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, but I found myself praying and praying and praying, knowing and saying someday it was going to happen for me. But what I didn't take possession of was the control of my life. I didn't take possession of I didn't go ahead and take action. So when you rely on yourself, you understand that if God, I don't move, God won't move. We all hear the quote in the same in the from my favorite book that says, "Faith without works is dead." It really is dead. I heard a quote, and I want you all to take this quote to heart. And this quote has always stuck with me, and I live by this quote. Man's faith in God is measured by the belief that he has in himself. So my question is, how much faith do you have in God? How much action are you willing to take to show it?
Man, those are some serious words. Like you said, faith without works is dead. And the only way that you can really show that you have faith is through action. And so it really isn't how much you pray,
Mm.
it's how much you go and get in the game and play. Like you actually have to get out
Come
there and
on,
play the game. You know what I mean?
come
And so,
on.
yeah, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. For those of you that are just tuning in, we're here with LaRon Barnes. We're getting you motivated for the week because that starts on Sunday, not Monday. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so we do everything ahead of time so that we can move into the week in a serious state of flow. If you want to be able to follow LaRon Barnes, go ahead and look at the ticker at the bottom. It has his website there. You can book him for your motivational speaking needs as well as life coaching. Today, we're talking about the power of self-reliance. And so the first point
Mm.
was you have to accept that you are in control. And I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah.
We pray and we wait, we pray and we wait, we blame other people, we do all these different things, but we
Mm.
forget that, hey, the power's in your hands. If you want to make something happen, it is up to you. So
Mm.
let's move on to
Come
point
on.
number two. It helps you eliminate dependency and excuses. That's a big one. What do you mean by that?
Woo! How many times, Andrew, have we given credit to external situations, circumstances, and other people? We've given credit to them that, and they didn't even ask for it. It's called the blame game. Look, if you are going to succeed in life, if you're going to play at your maximum potential, if you're really going to play on your level, you have to receive the fact that when you rely on yourself, it allows you to eliminate your excuses. Look, life is going to hit you on the blind side, whether you're ready for it or not. Life will happen to you. Untimely deaths, sicknesses, financial hardships. But it's not about what happens to you. It's about what happens through you. How do we receive rejection? How do we receive not life not happening the way that we want it to happen? Or the way that we receive it and the way that we respond to that thing is ultimately what really matters, Andrew.
That's true. That's true. So you're talking about dependency. I see that a lot. I've been in sales my entire adult life, and so a lot of times people do blame external factors, specifically people, for their lack of success.
Yeah.
Prime example. Instead of a person saying, "Hey, there's something here that I really don't quite understand. Let me go to Google or let me go to the library. Let me go to the resources that I have access to so that I can get the answers." They say, this person over here is just gatekeeping the information. They're holding the game back from me. They don't want to tell me how to do it. Think about it. As long as you stay in that state of mind, your progress is dependent on other people. And if you depend on other people for your own progress, you can expect to stand still. It's going
Come
to be
on.
rare that somebody's just going to grab you by the hand and drag you over to success. It doesn't work like that. You have to, again, be the captain of your own ship. And so, really getting out of that codependency mindset that says that somebody else has to help me become successful. Not that you may not need help along the way, but you shouldn't depend on that 100% because it may not happen. And so, if it doesn't, what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful. I want to add to that, Andrew. Look, when I wanted to become a powerful speaker, an impactful speaker, a speaker that was felt when he spoke, a speaker that was able to transform lives, a speaker that spoke to not only the mind, but the souls and the heart of people. When I decided that I wanted to become that speaker, one of the things that I told myself was I had to be connected to Les Brown, because Les Brown had what I know I needed. What I didn't do was make excuses on how famous he may have been, or how he may not have had time for me, or I don't know anybody that knows Les Brown. No, you know what I did? I figured it out. I depended on my personality. I depended on my effort. Look, yes, I know God's going to do his thing, but I had to do my thing as well. I had to go and say, okay, where is Les Brown? Well, Les Brown is in his own workshops. So invest in yourself. Eliminate your excuses. You want to meet Les Brown? You want to work with Les Brown? Put yourself in the presence of Les Brown. Put yourself around people who know Les Brown. I said, you know what? I can't do it without me taking my best foot and putting it forth. I remember one time, Andrew, in the process of me looking to meet Les Brown and speak on the same platform as him as I done, I accomplished that goal, buddy. One of the things that I did was I said, you know what? I don't know necessarily how I'm going to get in this circle. I didn't know that. Again, I said I know that I needed him to train me. But once I got into the program, once I got around people that knew him, once I got in that circle, I was able to get a one-on-one call from him. I eliminated my excuses. Now I connected with someone who knows him on a one-on-one basis. And if I really want to talk to him and get connected to him, I can. But I depended on my personality, on my work ethic, on me. Yes, I know God will do his work, as I said, Andrew. God will do his work. God will do his part. But the problem that most of us have is we don't do ours.
We do not do our part, man, all too often. And I actually remember that because I was backstage listening to you, and you did an excellent job, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're talking about today. But man, you did an
Respect.
excellent job. I was proud of you.
Thank you.
But no, man, I really want to stay here for a little bit because I believe there are so many people that are in this position that say, I know exactly what I want to do. I know
Yeah.
where I want to go, but there's some person, there's something, there's some event that I feel that needs to happen to help me get from point A to B. Why do you feel people are stuck there? So we talked about the fact that they are,
Mhm.
but where does that even come from?
Mm. Intrinsically, it's intrinsic, it's internal, it's the doubt, fears, limiting beliefs, all of those things. See, the truth is, Andrew, that most of us are unaware and unconscious of doubt, fear when they initially spark. So we feel it, but we don't say it's fear. We don't say it's doubt. We don't say I don't feel worthy. It's intrinsic. And so it's a thought that we have about ourselves that are not beneficial, that is not beneficial to our future. It's a thought that we have about ourselves that is not beneficial to our future. So we begin to live a life from our limiting beliefs. We don't live a life from our faith. We live a life from our doubts. We live a life from our fears. We live a life from our excuses, our limitations. Instead of saying, I see myself being, doing, and having the good I desire, I see myself in my future. And I look way better than I do in my present. We have to visualize. We have to see ourselves on the mountaintop. We have to understand that, yeah, I may be in the valley, or yeah, I may just be on the climb, but I'm moving, I'm climbing, I'm putting in work, I'm putting in effort. Give energy to your faith and detract it and eliminate it from your fears.
Mm, I love that. I love that. And it's just, I want to stay on that point because, like I said, man, I believe that this particular portion of the conversation really hits home for so many people.
Yeah.
It's believing that other people are better than you. Right. When they have access to the same tools and resources and were created by the same
Yeah.
God who said that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He wasn't talking to one person, he was talking to everybody, right?
Come on.
And my interpretation of that is we were created in such a way that it's almost scary what we're capable of.
Mm,
But you have to
powerful.
believe that and really step into it and say, you know what, I really can't do anything. Let me go ahead and lock in. Now, the other part of it, this is the flip side that we didn't touch on. People want things to be easy. They
Uh-oh.
want things to be as easy as possible. And so when you're relying
Mhm.
on yourself 100%, that means that you also have to put 100% effort, and people don't want to do that. What they
Come
want is to
on.
put in 20% effort and have external people and situations do the other 80% for them. That's the problem.
Man,
Now,
come on.
can you speak to that?
That's a yes. Look, at the end of the day, when you when you really put the effort in, when you put the work in, when you depend on your efforts, what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing the manifestation. You're going to start seeing things happen for you. You're going to start seeing people see your work. People see what you are putting into the world. For example, Brother Sean White, that's a perfect example. He's been consistent. He's one of my brothers who's in the motivational field. Who got matter of fact, what is that? It's gonna come back to my head. But he got a show right now, a podcast that he runs. What he did, bro, is he was consistent. Even when nobody was watching at one point in time, in the beginning when he first started, he was consistent. It's about your consistency. It's about your work. It's about, look, at the end of the day, when nobody's here, if nobody's here supporting me right now, if nobody sees me right now, I see me. Consistency compounds. It's called the compound effect. There's a book called The Compound Effect. And the main message of the book is that work, effort compounds over time. It's a day by day thing. It's a little by little thing. It's it's inch by inch or cinch by cinch equals an inch. It's by doing the little things in the progress. Listen to this. I remember my mentor told me this. He said to me, he said, you know what, LaRon? He said, you know why I'm better than people who've been in this field way longer than me, 20 years? And I've only been doing this for about 5 right now. He said, because I'm on more appointments than them. I talk to more people than them. I put in more work than them. Work makes you better. When you are consistent in your work, it's going to automatically make you better. Automatically. Consistency over time compounds and it compounds into greatness.
Man, I love that. I love that. You know, people want things to be easy. You know, it's staying on that point. People want things to be easy, but my belief is if you give your 100% and allow the external factors and other people to come in at 10%, 15%, 20% here and there,
Mm,
now you've exponentially grown and you have more than
yeah.
100%. But what a
Mm,
lot of us try to do again is we don't want to rely on self and give 100%. We want to give 20 and rely on somebody else for the 80. It absolutely doesn't work. But for those of you that
mm,
are just tuning in, we appreciate you. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the shares. That helps us, you know, expand our reach and get this information in front of more people.
yeah.
Today, we're talking about the power of self reliance with LaRon Barnes. He's a motivational speaker as well as life coach. If you would like to book him or you want more information on exactly what he does, his information is right here on the screen below. You can visit LaRonDBarnes.com. And so, we have covered that self reliance helps you accept that you are in control. Nobody else is in control of your success but you. Two, it helps you to eliminate dependency, relying on
Mm,
other people to get you where you need to be
yeah.
when all of the power, all of the resources, all of that is
Mm,
within you. The last point is it builds intrinsic motivation. Can you explain that?
absolutely. Why? Because now you trust in you. How many times have we told ourselves something that we didn't do? It causes us to not trust in ourselves. Well, we're not going to do it anyway. So why even say it? I'm just talking out the side of my mouth. But when you depend on you, when you trust in your ability, it builds trust in your ability. because you're consistent with it, you continuously do it, and it builds that intrinsic motivation. And motivation is the fuel that we use to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish with ease. See, it's easy to go after what you desire, what you want, when you are motivated. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't move when you're not motivated, because you got to make your move before you're ready. It's better not to have an opportunity and be prepared than to have one and not be. So we want to make sure that we move regardless, but with intrinsic motivation, what that does is it allows the movement to be easy. It allows the movement to be more fun. It allows it to be more exciting. And when you are moving in excitement, when you are moving because you know that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it, and it's going to get done, when you know that, it inspires you. It gets you going. It puts you on top.
Absolutely. Yes, what I hear from that is the snowball effect. It's about gaining that momentum,
Yes.
and so it's always the hardest when you're at a dead stop,
Mm-hmm.
right? But once you start going, once you start moving, it gets easier and easier and easier. Anytime you start with a new skill, and this is one thing that I've really taken on and I've taken it to heart in everything that I do. If something is worth doing at all, it's worth doing badly in the beginning.
Come
It's
on.
worth doing poorly in the beginning and getting better over time. And so you got to be okay with sucking at first. Like, can I
Come
be real
on.
with you? You got to be okay with being trash at the beginning, because a lot of times when it's a new skill, it's something you've never done before. You're not going to start at the top. You're going to start at the bottom, and you have to accept that and be okay with the process of getting where you want to be. And so, yeah, I think that's where a lot of people also limit themselves, is because they seek perfection at the beginning,
Yeah.
and it's not going to happen. If
Yeah.
it's worth it to you, it's
Mm.
worth doing poorly in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm in my first play. I'm not an actor. That ain't what I do, right? But I have to be okay and say, okay, listen, I'm
Mm.
not Denzel Washington today,
Come
right?
on. But
But can I get there?
today,
Absolutely, if I'm willing to put in the work. And so you have to be okay with doing things poorly and then gaining that momentum and letting that snowball effect kick in. And things do get easier over time. I love that one. I love that. Can you expound on that some more?
absolutely, absolutely. And I was just gonna say, just to say it again, it's okay to fail. It's okay. What is failure? Failure is when you don't get the initial result that you were pressing for. Failure is when you don't get the initial result that you were pressing for. That's all it is. It's failure's not final. The reason why most people don't succeed is because they don't fail. John Maxwell wrote a book called Fail Your Way to Success. No, excuse me, Failing Forward. And we got to fail our way to success. We have to fail forward. How we fail forward? Well, in order to fail, because you want to succeed, you got to put your foot out there. You got to put your best foot out there. And what failing means, again, is you didn't get the result. Example, Andrew talked. He listened. He gonna kill it. I know he gonna kill it with his acting. That boy got it on him already. But watch this. He's put his best foot out there. And guess what I know? What I do know is this. This first performance is not even gonna be compared to his next performance and his next performance and his next performance. But failing ourselves forward says, in Andrew's scenario, he's gonna have a next performance and a next performance and a next performance. You will always fail at anything that you do as long as you're failing forward. And what failing forward means that I'm going to get better. That's what failing forward means. It means that, okay, I did good, but I'm going to be great. I didn't do everything that I needed to do or I could have done to get exceptionally well. So be okay with failing as long as you're failing forward, as long as you're learning
Yes.
when you're
Yeah.
failing so you can succeed.
Man, listen, I got to give a couple quick shout outs to a few people in the audience. Sean White, we appreciate you being with us here the whole time. We appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Malik, good vibes. He's always a great supporter of Elevating Men,
Eek.
as well as Brother LaRon Barnes. Thank you so much, sir. It's tagging all of his people. We appreciate that. Brother Ryan S. Harvey, I saw that he dropped in for a second.
What's going
I
on,
want
my
to stop
brother?
for a second because there was actually something that he said that relates to this conversation. He was our keynote speaker for the Elevating Men conference that was held just about a week and 2 weeks ago now.
So,
But
yeah.
there was something he said about failing forward. He gave the analogy of a baby learning how to walk and how, they stand up and they fall and they stand up and they fall, but eventually they're able to walk. And then eventually that walk becomes a run. And so, if you actually want to see the recap of the men's conference, you can go again to the Elevating Men page. But shout out to Ryan S. Harvey. Before we wrap up here, we had a great conversation. Again, this is live, and so you can always go back and watch the entire thing from the beginning. But before we close out, we like to keep this right at 30 minutes. There's two things that I want you to do for us, LaRon. There's two things I want you to do.
Yes,
Just
sir.
really quick, Sean White, yes, we did have a conference. If you go to the Elevating Men page, scroll down a little bit, you'll see a recap video so that you can see everything that went on there. Um, so I'm going to put up the flyer for this show, Motivational Moments, and I want you to just take a brief second to explain why people need to put this on their calendar for every Sunday morning. And then we're going to talk a
Absolutely.
little bit about your website, LaronBarnes.com, how they can book you, and just all the things that you do for people. So I'm going to put that up on the screen right now. Talk to them about why they need to put this on their calendar.
Absolutely. Motivational moments with LaRon. Look, you need to put this on your calendar, first of all, is because a lot of times we don't have the right mindset going into the week. And so the right mindset for any endeavor in life is what we need in order for us to have the peace of mind, strategy, and the direction we need to go. So every Sunday before we start off the week, we're starting off the week with power. We starting off the week to be motivated. We starting off the week to be inspired. So every Sunday, instead of waiting for Monday when we're groggy and we really don't want to watch anything in the morning, Sundays will get you spiritually inspired, mentally inspired. It would have you wanting to achieve success on every level. And a lot of time, people nowadays, we're not really doing what we're doing. 30 minutes in and out so that you can have the tools, strategies, techniques, and the mindset in order to achieve success for the week. You got to be here.
Absolutely. And I want you to talk about your website. We've got the information scrolling at
Yeah,
the bottom. Tell them what they can find there, what all it is that you do for
yeah,
people and organizations, and why
yeah.
should they reach out to you.
Absolutely. So you can go to larondbarnes.com and you can book me. If you need to be your children or your school to be inspired, you want them to have the direction on where they're supposed to go after this, discover their passion, discover their purpose, develop their communication skills, and discover their tribe, giving them the tools that they need so when they leave this school environment and step into the real world, as we like to call it, they'll know exactly the direction that they're supposed to go so that they can ultimately succeed in life. Also, I do some life coaching, one-on-one life coaching, that if you are an individual and you stuck in your own way, you have doubts, fears, limiting beliefs, different things like that, and you're tired of being stuck, yeah, we need to connect, especially if you're an entrepreneur. I worked outside of entrepreneurs, but especially entrepreneurs. You can book a session with me. Just put your phone number, your email in, and then I'm gonna definitely get back to you. And if you are any individual who are really ready to stop being stuck, get unstuck. It's enough with that bull crap. It's time to go. If you are goal oriented, future oriented, and ready to get out of your head and get into your life, book me. Go on LaRon D. Barnes, put book me, send your information, and I will definitely reach back out to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, thank you everyone for tuning in today. This has been Motivational Moments. It's every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 9:30, 30 minutes to get your week off on the right track. And so we love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow Elevating Men on YouTube as well as Facebook. Go and check out the conference recap because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was fire. It was fire. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you have any questions or if you still want to leave comments, although this was live, you can still do that after we get off line. We'll be in the comments and addressing you and things like that. But I do want to make a personal plea to everyone who's listening. LaRon has been working very hard in the motivational space as well as life coaching. I've watched this brother grow over the last 3 years. He is one of the best speakers that I know. And I would beg to say one of the best speakers that I've heard. His
Mhm.
enthusiasm is on point. He's serious about what he's doing.
Yes.
He doesn't take it lightly. Every time I talk to him, he's reading, he's pouring into himself, he's looking for ways and solutions to help you improve your life. And so don't let all of his hard work go to waste. I know that you know a school, you know, an organization, a church, or maybe yourself just needing personal life coaching or someone that you can rely on for some of the answers that you're looking for to get yourself unstuck and moving in the right direction. Please consider LaRon Barnes. His information is at the bottom of the screen, LaRonDBarnes.com. Did you have any last words or final thoughts that you wanted to leave with the people?
No, I just want to say I appreciate you for showing up each Sunday, being consistent, tagging folk. This is spiritual. This is deeper than just some positive words. So I appreciate you showing up just consistently. Tag people, share this. Let's get this motivation and inspiration out to the world. Let's go.
All right, all right. As we close out, I'm going to go ahead and put the flyer back up on the screen so that you guys can add this to your calendar. But this has been another motivational moments. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.